A special hello to all our parents and caregivers. I thought for mid-term we would do an online newsletter this week, particularly as we have a shortened week in week 5 of this term. Look, just a special thank you to everyone who's engaged in the parent-teacher interviews online a couple of weeks ago and again this week. We've had some very strong feedback about that families enjoyed that, particularly where they could do the interviews from the comfort of their home. They didn't have to drive, catch public transport or find parking, and also they didn't have to move around to talk to teachers. So we'll be looking at making some changes for next year with our parent teachers and with an option for online. Can I also thank all our staff in particular who've been involved in the subject information interviews for Year 9 boys going into Year 10. They're more significant interviews than they've been in the past because boys are choosing those subjects for 3 years. And I thank over 220 parents who came in to have those face-to-face interviews as well. They've been very, very helpful. We've still got a few more parents to catch up, and I know there's 3 or 4 of our staff currently ringing parents to have those follow-up interviews. They're very important interviews. And we've also been engaged in the Year 10 set planning interviews this week as well. And approximately 25 staff were involved in those earlier in the week. And I thank all staff for that, and parents will be getting information around the findings from those interviews. With regard to COVID-19 restrictions, you would be aware in the media that there has been a little bit of a spike down south and some concerns raised in Queensland. Again, I reiterate, we're following the guidelines from the government and we're risk managing all events here. What that's meant is some events have been cancelled, unfortunately, but we just can't take the risk of running those events. Some events will be modified, and they'll be modified in who can attend, or the time of day, or the number of people that will be involved. And some will go ahead as normal as possible. A special thank you to the AIC sports team at St Laurence's College. Last weekend we played 110 games of sport across 5 different sports as well as cross-country events during the week. This week on Wednesday, we will have our cross-country championship out at St Patrick's, and I thank all the staff involved in that. We held finals here for a number of teams on the weekend, and I really want to thank the cleaning staff, the ground staff, and the sports staff for the way that happened. All guidelines were followed with cleaning, social distancing and gaps between games. And it was a lot of work, and I thank everyone for making sure that our young men at the college are safe. This weekend, as you would be aware, it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday break, mid-term. I think particularly our teaching staff and other support staff need that break. Thursday was a holiday, public holiday in our newsletter and in our calendar from the start of the year. So we've kept with that, and I'd like to thank the team at Padua College who've agreed to have a trial on the Thursday rather than the Saturday, so all families can have a long weekend as required. I'll reiterate for those boys playing at Banyo, for the boys in Year 5 to 8, an online survey was sent for those who needed transport from the college to the venues and back to the college. And I thank Mr Butterworth, Mr Caulfield and Mr Furman who are assisting with all of that. A note around enrolments. This Saturday and indeed throughout the last couple of weeks, we've been doing Year 5 enrolments for 2022. So I thank Mr Wiggin and the team particularly for managing those. That'll conclude next week. If you are looking for Year 5 2022 and haven't put an enrolment application in, please do as soon as possible because enrolments are quite full in Year 5. Year 7 offers have gone out, and we have at this stage no vacancies in Year 7 for next year, and we have only a few in 2022. So if you're looking at Year 7 2022, please put that in this term and as soon as possible. The last thing I would like to, or the second last thing I'd like to do is just say, look, recently we've had a lot of anxiety amongst parents, students and staff around changes, things that are affecting schools and indeed just general life. I have had a spike in inappropriate behaviour from parents. So can I ask if you have a query and you're anxious? We fully understand that. we would like a civil conversation to occur around that. If we've made a mistake, we will apologise, but we won't apologise for challenging poor behaviours of any member of our community. I would also like to wish everyone a good long weekend and hope that it's a refreshing time. I know it's only a short period, but I think it's very important for us. And we look forward to the remaining 5 weeks as we move through to a very important time for our senior students. Some of those senior students have completed their internal assessment and they're now gearing up for their external assessment next term. We ask them to remain engaged and we ask them to remain involved. So best wishes for the remainder of the term. Thank you.